Well, thank you, Premier and Deputy Premier. It's most certainly been a long 3 days since this flooding event began across New South Wales, and I'm afraid to say that we're not quite out of the woods yet, and we'll shortly hear from Jane Golding in terms of where the weather situation is up to and what people across Western Sydney and up through the Hunter and other regions can expect over the couple of the hours ahead and also the days ahead. So as has been mentioned this morning, we've got around about 30,000 people who are the subject of either an evacuation order or an evacuation warning, and really want to acknowledge the impact that these latest floods are having on those communities of impact. For many communities, this is the fourth flood that they have seen in less than 18 months. And some of those images are truly heartbreaking, seeing people's homes, their lives turned upside down again, and their livelihoods very much impacted. And so our heart very much goes out to people and communities at this time, and want to reassure those communities that we will be there with them right through the recovery process. We've clearly demonstrated that in relation to those significant flooding events that we saw earlier this year and the ongoing recovery efforts in the Northern Rivers region. And whatever is required through the Western Sydney and other areas, we will be there through that recovery time and to ensure that people get back on their feet as quickly as possible. So we currently have 7 evacuation centres that have been established, and I'd really encourage anyone who needs to somewhere to go at this time, or if you just don't feel that staying at home is where you would like to be. You may be vulnerable for any number of reasons. We have established 7 evacuation centres in the most high-risk areas. So they are at Canley, Vale, Castle Hill, Gosford, Gymea, Narellan, North Richmond and Richmond. Further details can be found on the SES website of those specific locations, or you can always call the SES on 132500 or Services New South Wales on 137788, and we will be there to help you. We currently have 184 registrations at those evacuation centres that have been established, and we have 68 people in emergency accommodation presently. And finally, with my hat on as the Minister for Flood Recovery, I just want to give an update that where it is safe and appropriate to do so, we are kickstarting the recovery process. Working very closely with the Commonwealth at this time, and we do expect those natural disaster declarations to flow through either later today or early tomorrow morning. And we have SES crews deployed across communities in the Georges River area at the moment, and they are beginning their rapid damage assessments, looking at the impact of this latest flooding on people's homes, their businesses, and the local infrastructure, working closely with councils, of course, to make sure that that is all captured, and that will form the basis of our discussions with the federal government in relation to rolling out support for communities as we look to get people back on their feet.